and we're heading back to more right now to, join certainly the fray of coverage. We'll bring you the best story that we can. We are probably about 60 miles to the south. We went after the southern storms, and even though, the storm started to rotate back and more, we stayed on the southern storms. And now, just turning around and getting out of these areas, these rural areas, is not that easy. But we're heading back to more, and we'll let you know, guys, what we find when we get there. My heart goes out to everybody, certainly in the last couple of days, that has been dealing with these devastating tornadoes. Carl, back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you so much. And we were just taking a look at some of those pictures of the devastation. I don't know if we can actually bring that video back that we had just moments ago. That was the video showing some of the houses there that had been swept off their foundations. Here you see the cars that have been piled up. This is, I believe, this is right next to one of these schools that we were looking at. You can see how the cars are just piled up. They've been pushed into the school essentially, and the velocities that we were talking about in this case, Brian, are probably going to be on the order of the highest that we see when we talk about tornado wind speeds.
Yeah, just looking at it looks like EF5. And the way we talk about tornadoes, the same way we talk about hurricanes.
Chance of survivals are bad.
It's just everything.
It says chance of survival is bad.
Because we can't measure the winds. All right, back to KFOR.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, it certainly is. Do you feel lucky?
I feel pretty lucky. I feel pretty lucky.
Did you see the tornado coming up on top of you here?
I didn't see nothing. Like I said, I couldn't hear no sirens. I couldn't hear nothing, and then it was real windy, and then all of a sudden everything just stopped. And being from Oklahoma, I said, that's not right. And so when I looked outside, I seen the debris flying over here, and I said, it's time. I tried to let some horses go, and that's all it was.
And so it's Lando?
Lando.
Height?
Yes, sir.
H-I-T-E. Lando, if you mind staying with me for a second, because this is just the fact that you're almost outside and all this, we're just going to take this in a second live, and it's that was like a practice run.
Okay.
And we'll have you kind of just rehash different. I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, so that was at that Orr family farm. That was southwest of Moore, on the other side of I-35, not far outside of town, but it's a landmark there on the south side of Oklahoma City, and obviously someone working there, and for whatever reason wasn't aware. Maybe out in that. All right, let's go back to KFOR.
And those parents waiting to hear word, my goodness. That's Plaza Towers, right, Lance?
That is correct, Plaza Towers. And everything within a square mile of this school has just been decimated by this storm.
Lance, are parents being kept back, or are they working to look for their children?
They are not allowing the parents to get onto the debris pile, obviously way too dangerous. There are down power lines, debris everywhere with nails, gas leaks, things like that. But there are parents who are trying to make it in here. We, fortunately, were able to follow some emergency vehicles and get access, but most of the folks have been stopped about a mile back from the destruction zone.
Have you seen children removed from the debris who have been transported?
We just saw one child, and he's standing now. It looks like he's hugging someone, maybe his parent, but we have only seen one child that has been transported. We have seen other victims transported from here in the backs of pickup trucks. There are some four-wheel drives that are maneuvering in. I'm looking at a Jeep right now that seems to have clearance and was able to make it into this area.
All right.
But for the most part, it's very limited access for the average citizen to get in here. They're going door to door, searching these homes, searching storm shelters. We met a family as they were coming out of their shelter, and they were just devastated. They said that their neighbors were pounding on the door to get in as the tornado came in, and they didn't have the strength to open the door because the wind was so devastating. They don't know what happened to their neighbors.
And Lance, we want to verify this again. You're telling us that 75 children were in class when that storm hit Plaza Towers, and they believe those 75, they're searching for all of them right now. Is that correct?
That is what I'm being told by one of the rescuers here on the scene, that there were 75 people inside that building, in the hallway, which was the secure place, the safe environment, the tornado shelter, if you will. But
the walls are gone, cinder block walls that are 8 inches thick, and the roof is completely gone. It basically looks like it just collapsed in on itself, and there are search and rescue personnel on top of this 10-foot mountain of debris going through the pile, screaming for victims. So we're not anything, but we can only hope that they can search and that they continue to yield some positive results.
Absolutely.
And we do need some hopeful news, and you did tell us, for those just joining us, we're talking about the Plaza Towers Elementary School. 75 children believe, and staff members believe, to be in the school when the tornado hit. They were sheltering in the hallway, which was deemed their safe spot. There is no safe spot above ground for an F5 if this turns out to be that. But Lance, you were saying that you saw at least one child who came out of the debris and was hugging a parent or somebody. Is that correct?
That is correct. A young man, probably about 8 to 10 years old, I would say.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
And the teacher is being loaded. I told you about that Jeep, that four-wheel drive. She's being loaded into that Jeep right now, very gingerly, and she will be taken out of here. Also talked to a gentleman by the name of Pat Smith. He has a child in the school. Pulled his child out 10 minutes before the tornado hit.
Briarwood
and then
School?
came back to help in the search and rescue efforts. And he told me that they pulled out 30 kids alive, but the search continues for even more.
All right.
Okay, so you're saying of the 75 who were sheltered in that school, 30 were pulled out alive? Is that what you're saying?
I do know that there were 30 pulled out. I don't know if there's still 75 more in there or if we can subtract those 30, but I was told that there were some 75 in that area when the storm hit.
All right.
Be very careful with this information. Yes.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to continue to get more information from the folks out here. This is all very preliminary.
Right, Lance, we appreciate your effort as a parent yourself, and those parents like us watching it is a very difficult assignment that our Lance West has right now, but nothing compared to what those families are going through at this point.
Adam Merce is on the scene as well in a different part of Moore. Let's go back to him right now. Adam?
Yeah, Linda, we're at Orr Family Farm, and I just spoke to a couple people who've been out here, and they say that some people were able to make it to a basement in one of the houses over here, but there were a lot of people who had to ride out this storm incredibly. They rode it out inside of these horse stalls, and one of those people that did this, Lando Hyde, Lando,